Now, let's start with the responsiveness. And for that, if we have a look at this application, I would say on phones, this looks and feels pretty good. We have the overall scrollability here on our general page, and we can scroll this list view here, which is also nice. Now, we face a problem, however, as soon as we rotate this. In landscape mode, the general look and feel might be okay, though you could argue that maybe we can shrink the width of this chart a little bit. Maybe it doesn't need to stretch the full width of our device here. And we certainly face a problem with the list down there. I can kind of scroll the list here, but if I scroll the overall page, which I can also do, then I actually can scroll the list, but I have a hard time getting to my chart. I actually can't scroll up anymore because my list occupies the full page. And that, by the way, stems from our setting here in the transaction list, where I give that container with the list a fixed height. This fixed height, if you remember, was fine-tuned to work really well on portrait mode. And therefore here on portrait mode, we have no problem with it, because this container with the list kind of fits nicely at the bottom of our overall height of the screen. And therefore we can scroll both the list and the general page. If we go into landscape mode, that changes, because now the container with the list still has a height of 450, which is too high. It stretches below the boundaries of our, or outside of the boundaries of our device, because we have less height available in landscape mode. And therefore, since this container has a fixed height, and this transaction list is in the end just part of our overall column, which has a single child scroll view, we can scroll our general page to bring that 450 high container into view. But as soon as this container is inside of the view, we can scroll the list items in there, because in our transaction list container, we have a list view, which is always scrollable. But then we have no handle to scroll the overall page, because wherever we're clicking, we're just inside of the list view, we're scrolling the list view. And that's of course bad. Now here a solution would be to restrict the general height of this container and calculate it dynamically based on the size of the device we're running on. And then we could also get rid of that overall single child scroll view, because we could always size our chart and our transaction list such that they split the available height and never need to be scrollable, because neither the chart nor the list extends out of our page view. Instead, only the list itself then is scrollable inside of that space we reserved for it. In case that's not entirely clear what I mean, we'll implement this in the next lectures.